All right, Michael, it's December 12th, believe it or not. Christmas haunt. It was called Winter Wasteland at Psychosis in Elgin. What did you think?
I thought it wasn't very well put together. There was no real theme. The actors seemed disinterested. None of the sets really went with anything. I mean, there was some Easter stuff in there, which probably went with The Nightmare Before Christmas. But even so, let me think what else I didn't like. There was too many of those, what do you call those things? Those,
like the plastic pipe things?
Yeah, there's too many plastic pipes, you know, to the ratio of actual actors in there. I thought they just threw this thing together and didn't really put much thought into it. And they have like a police officer in there, which doesn't go with anything in the rest of the haunt. And there is mention of zombies, which you said that went with the Halloween. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give this 2.5. It wasn't really worth seeing.
Okay. Okay, Laura. Psychosis Winter Wasteland. Was it as good as Halloween?
Unfortunately, I would have to say not as good as Halloween. I really, really loved the Halloween haunt this year. There's just so many different things that I really enjoyed. This one, it was kind of half that, but they changed it a little bit. And there were some good elements, like I'll just mention the Wax Museum. That's still incredibly well done. I mean, I really like that. And it was a little twist, a little more like a Christmas theme, which was really good. So that part was great. That's where it starts. And there's a lot of parts of the Halloween one, but it's just not quite the same. Not as much enthusiasm. I like the nurse with the syringe. She's like, bye-bye, bye-bye. I mean, I liked it. That was cute and funny. Like Michael said, there's a couple other scenes where you just kind of sit and listen to someone talk, and it kind of goes on for a while, and it wasn't quite the same as it was in the Halloween haunt. Overall, I'm going to say, yeah, there are some things I did like about it. I did like the Nightmare Before Christmas night, and then the Gingerbread Man in there as well. That was good, too, for the holidays. So I'm probably going to give it, I know the Halloween one I gave a 5. I loved it. But just because it wasn't quite up to what it was last time, I'm probably going to give it a 3. 3 chainsaws. I mean, I think they probably maybe they just decided to do it at the last minute. I don't know. But it does have a lot of potential. It really does. The Halloween one was great. This one I was really excited thinking it's going to be like that, and it just wasn't quite there. But not to say it won't be the next time they do it. You know, hopefully it will be a little bit better. So yeah, 3 for me.
Okay. Psychosis this time around, we were really looking forward to it because this is the very first time they've done a Christmas haunt. And we both enjoyed, Laura and I went to the Halloween version, and we really enjoyed it. It was excellent. They stepped it up from the year before, which I didn't really give high marks to at that time. But unfortunately, have to say that this one seemed much more like the 2014 version of the haunt, so sort of half-finished. There were bits in here where scenes were just inserted unnecessarily. There was a scene with a police officer who just basically talked to us, did nothing at all, made us do sort of silly things. It served really no purpose. And there was another scene that worked at Halloween. This was a sort of a military scene where a military officer comes in and he says that you're going to meet some undead creatures, and he asks for volunteers. And in that instance in Halloween, I was the one who volunteered, and I got an air pistol, and I was able to go in and shoot some zombies and things. This time around, the military guy was there, but all he did was just announce that you're going to go see some dead people, and it was an overly long speech, and it went on, and there was no purpose to it. There was no gun, there was no alternative thing. We just sat there for a while, killed some time. That I found very unnecessary. And in addition to that, I will say that I was really sort of put off by the fact that this guy who was supposed to be a military officer is just some guy in a t-shirt and jeans, and he's wearing a camouflage jacket, as if no effort was put in at all to actually making him look like he's in the military. It was seemingly, like Michael said, most of the actors seemed somewhat disinterested. There didn't seem to be a lot of actors, and it was shorter. It was about 17 minutes this time around, which was shorter than the Halloween version. Disjointed would be another word that I'd use. It seemed like the theme was all over the place. Yes, it was supposedly a Christmas haunt, and there were some Christmas-related things in it, but for the most part, it was just Psychosis. There were a couple of things. There was a Krampus in there, and I will say that was good, because early scenes some of the actors would say, "Oh, he's coming for you, he's coming to get you," and they would laugh and things. And then he didn't show up until almost the very end, which was cool. And he was in sort of like a temple. Under normal circumstances, it's sort of like a Mayan/Aztec temple. Here, it was Krampus, and he was good. And at the very end, there was a gingerbread man, and a giant gingerbread man, and he popped up sort of in this sea of fog and light, and that was funny. He was kind of cute. But for the most part, I'll give extra points for Jack Skellington. There was a Jack Skellington. I've never actually seen a live Jack Skellington in a haunt before. And also the Wax Museum, which we loved from Halloween, they did a very similar thing, but there were two different actors that were live this time. It was a Yeti, whom I thought was fake, actually, and also the Grinch. So, and Laura's looking at me in a funny way right now, so I want to know. They're not running the haunt anymore.
Oh, okay.
Today's the last day of the haunt, everybody. So, in any case, it was just okay, I have to say. So I'm going to cut it right down the middle. I'm going to give it a 2.5 for the Christmas version, I have to say. Not very thrilled with it at all.
But I mean, if this might be their first Christmas, I know you're ready to do this again because you were pulling the camera away and I'm still talking. but
you gotta sit over this way, Love. You can't turn the camera. Blooper reel.
Psychosis.
Instant blooper reel.
Psychosis.